London says Russia should shut up and go away, and says it will boost Britain's military in response to the poisoning of Sergey Skripal and his daughter.
What we will do is we will look at how Russia responds to what we have done. It is absolutely atrocious and outrageous what Russia did in Salisbury. We have responded to that. Frankly, Russia should go away, it should shut up.
We're live to London now, and RT's Anastasia Churkina for more details. And Nastya, we're hearing some terse language coming from the UK here. What else is happening?
Well, Nikki, the situation is really beginning to feel a little bit surreal, to say the least. This kind of language is really unusual in the world of diplomacy and big world politics, if you ever expect to be taken seriously. And certainly this doesn't seem to be the kind of situation where this kind of language is going to be productive on any level. But that said, this was indeed a speech being given by the UK Defence Secretary addressing the situation that has been unraveling here with the Skripal case. Of course, the major diplomatic standoff going on. He was at one point asked whether or not he thinks that the relationship between Russia and the UK is back to a Cold War scenario. He has said that, well, he hasn't used those particular words, but he said it's exceptionally chilly. And certainly with words like Russia should go away and shut up, it's quite unlikely that this relationship is going to be warming up in the time to come. That said, Gavin Williamson also talked about Kremlin ripping apart the international rule book, doing things like using social media to muddy the waters. He's talked about its reckless attack on Salisbury, and of course used this opportunity to talk about how the UK is going to be investing £48 million into a new defence centre, so the timing is good for those purposes there, and how it's going to be modernizing its defence programme. Well, taking that speech into account, we've also been hearing from Boris Johnson, given these latest developments. He has said at some point, talking about how sure he is about whether Russia was behind the incident, he used the words that on a scale from 1 to 10, he's 9.98% sure, which is quite funny given the seriousness of the allegations being brought against Russia. He's also said that the response is proportionate and that Russia has been acting with, as he's described it, smug sarcasm. Now, he's also said that the UK is going to be sending a sample of the nerve agent that's understood to have been used against Sergey Skripal and his daughter to the Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, which Russia is also a member of, and despite it having asked for the sample to be provided to Moscow as well, so it could take a look at what it is and analyze it. That's not happening, but it's going to the organization. And we do know that Theresa May is meant to be going to Salisbury later in the day to meet with members of the public. And with all of this going on, we do know that, of course, Russia and the foreign ministry have been saying that they would still like to have seen the original of the substance being talked about. And of course, Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov said that Moscow will definitely expel British diplomats, which is the normal route to take. It's a quid pro quo kind of scenario, usually in situations like this, and this will happen very soon. So lots going on here, and we're obviously still going to be watching the story that is continuing to unravel.
We appreciate that. That's Anastasia Churkina in London speaking to us live there.